Hi everyone. I think so you have done all the questions. So some of them were hard, really they were hard. But actually what I asked you is from grade 10 physics. So physics is one of the most challenging part for you all. The reason mainly it is not based on by hearting, it is something to think. So here what I have asked, the first two questions is very simply the theoretical question. I saw several students were wrong in their answers because they didn't understand what is Newton's first law. The Newton's first law states that until an unbalanced force acts on an object, the object at rest will remain stationary and the object which moves at the uniform velocity will move in the uniform velocity. So it is a very typical statement. So but the problem, the question what I have asked you, the first question I asked you is that there is a 10 kilogram object table. The table is the object was at rest in a room. Explain why. So very simple thing what I asked. There is an object at rest. Why it is at rest? So you people should understand that Newton said that until an unbalanced force. He didn't say until a force acts on an object. So what is the differences between unbalanced force and balanced force? Sorry, unbalanced force and force. If you consider this table, if I ask you, is forces acting on this table? The answer is yes or no. The answer is yes. Here, forces are acting on this table. Yeah, there's a force acting on this table from Earth. We call it the gravity. Is acting toward Earth. We call it the weight. The force is acting. When the weight acts, the resultant, the normal reaction will be given by the Earth's surface to the table. So there's a force acting, also there are results. The resultant force, the opposite forces are acting. As the object is at rest, here the resultant force is 0. This 100 will make equal the other four forces. So for example, if 100 is a 25, 25, 25, 25, all the 25 make the opposite 100. And this 100 Newton is equal to 100 Newton, no resultant force. The first question what they asked is, why the object is at rest? You should answer, the object is at rest because there is no resultant force. So this answer should be, the object is at rest according to Newton's first law, because there is no resultant force or there is no unbalanced force. The second question also, I gave you values. I gave 2,500 kilograms. I gave you 5 ms minus 1. That is not the issue. You should think about the theory. The theory states that if there is no resultant force, there are two phenomena can be. There will be two phenomena. The first phenomena, if there is no resultant force, object can be at rest. Either object can move at uniform velocity. There are two possibilities. If there is no resultant force, there are two possibilities. The first possibility, the object will be at rest. The second possibility, the object will move at uniform velocity. The other side of it, if the object is moving at uniform velocity or at rest, the resultant force is 0. Here the same thing is happening. The car, it has a weight, the resultant will be, they will be equal to each other. The object is moving at uniform velocity. I have narrated at the uniform velocity 5 ms. I gave you a value, it's not the issue. Some people did something like this. I saw that 2,500 into 5, they did 12,500, and I don't know what is the unit. Here actually what they have found is, they have multiplied the mass by the velocity. It means they have found the momentum. I didn't ask you to find the momentum. I asked you why the object is moving at uniform velocity. The answer should be very simply, the object is moving at uniform velocity because there is no resultant force. So the answer should be, according to Newton's first law, the object is moving at uniform velocity, therefore no resultant force. Okay, so I asked you, the second question was simply, a 2,500 kilogram car was moving with a constant velocity of 5 meters second minus 1. Explain. The explanation is why it is, there is no resultant force according to Newton's first law. The object is moving at uniform velocity. So very simple. The answer should be the object is moving at uniform velocity as there is no resultant force according to the Newton's first law. That is the answer for the second one. Right. Let's go to the third question. The third question is actually based on the Newton's second law. So just say me, what is Newton's second law? The Newton's second law narrates you that the acceleration of a body is directly proportional to the unbalanced force. Come on, what is it? Unbalanced force. Also, the acceleration is inversely proportional. To the mass of object. What is it? The mass of object or body. So, here it is directly proportional means that when force increase, the acceleration will increase. Secondly, inversely proportional means when mass increase, the acceleration will decrease. Based on these two, I proved you in the theory, we can derive an equation that F is equal to m into A. Here the problem with you all, most of you have selected this equation F is equal to ma. It's not an issue. F is equal to ma. Sorry. You have selected the equation F is equal to ma, but what you have done is F, you have put 500 gram here into, you know the A, that is 3 meter second minus 2. But the problem, always the mass what we give in equation, even it can be the momentum's equation or F is equal to ma or W is equal to mg, whatever, wherever the place, when we put mass, it should be in the standard international format, that is in kilogram, so you can't put 500 grams. The answer should be F, so it cannot be done. F is equal to 0.5 kilogram. So everyone, we know that 500 grams mean it is 0.5 kilogram. So it is not that much hard. So 0.5 into 3. So the answer will be 1.5. What will be the unit? I saw several people did unit. Force, the unit should be Newton. So the answer should be 1.5 newtons. Right. The fourth question is actually you should do more calculation, but before that you have to understand the question. Most of the students, what they have done is they are selecting the numbers present in the question and they just add and subtract and go for the answers. That's not the proper method. Whenever you do questions like this, what you should do is first draw diagrams. What they have said is, there is a 3 kilogram object. It moves with the 2 ms minus 1 initial velocity. Initially the velocity was 2 meter second minus 1. The same object after 3 seconds increased its velocity to 8 ms minus 1. So what has happened? It has been accelerated. The velocity is increased. So what you are going to do is, you draw the diagram, then you will immediately get the answer. So you know that if there is an acceleration happen, there should be a resultant force. Because there is an unbalanced force acted here, that is why it has been accelerated. So therefore what you have to do is, draw the diagrams properly first. So now there are two diagrams, 3 kilogram object, 3 kilogram object, 2 ms minus 1, 8 ms minus 1. Within 3 seconds it has increased. So first, based on this, you have studied an equation that acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time taken. It is in the second unit of your grade 10. So acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time taken. So what is the final velocity? It is 8 meter second minus 1 minus, what is the final velocity? Sorry, initial velocity 2 ms minus 1 divided by, what is the time taken? 3 seconds. So the answer will be 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 divided by 3. The answer will be 2 meter per second square. The acceleration is 2 meter second minus 2. And the next part is, so you know the acceleration, you know that F is equal to m into A, force is equal to mass into acceleration. mass is 3 kilogram and the acceleration is 2 meter second minus 2, the answer will be 6 Newton. A very simple question what they have asked. But the problem, you are not graphically thinking of it. You are just trying to understand the question by looking after the sentence. It's really hard to do it. So whenever you get a such question, whenever you get physics question, first go to diagram. It is best and make you remember and make you understand the question. Right. The fifth one is a direct theory question. State the Newton's third law. So everyone was writing that question because I gave them in the final lectures. It is an easy part at all. So the answer is what? Every action has a right, opposite, equal reaction. So that is the answer for the fifth one. So the next question, the sixth one, is actually again about the theory. I need to make you all understand about the theory, because in theory classes what I did is just gave you the message. Okay, it is whenever in physics it is easy to understand when you do questions. So here the case what I have asked you is how to relate the Newton's third law to the movement of helicopter or the motion of helicopter. So it is nothing to wonder, just assume it as helicopter. It look like helicopter but not actually. So you know, usually there will be two different rotators. One will be at the end of helicopter and one will be at the top. So usually what happens is in helicopter, the fan or the rotator, what they do is there are air particles up to the helicopter, or it is surrounded this region. What the fan does is the fan will rotate the air particles and push the air particles downward. What it do? It will push the air particles downward. So according to Newton's third law, Newton said that when you supply a force, there will be a return to it. So here the fan of helicopter is pushing the air molecules downward. As a result of it, the air molecules are pushing the helicopter upwards. What does it do? Whenever the fan, what is it doing? The fan is pushing the air particles rest in their upper part toward down. It is exerting a force on these air particles. So whenever something pushed down, the air is giving the return to the helicopter. That is why it is going up. So you should say that according to Newton's third law, when the fan of helicopter push the air molecules downward, the air molecules will push the helicopter upward. So here we can connect the Newton's third law. Everything, whenever you swim, what you are doing? You are pushing the water particles backward, and the water particles push you forward. Also, whenever you walk, you are pushing the earth backward, and the earth result it is given to you in the right opposite to forward. That's why you are moving forward. Even whenever the vehicle moves, the vehicle tires trying to push the earth backward, but it will never happen. As a result of it, the earth pushes Newton's third law, the earth pushes the vehicle forward. So here, if they give you a situation and ask you to make them relate, always you should think, what is the force acting, what will be the result? It is very simple. Okay, so this is what I expect from the sixth question. So the answer should be, whenever the air particles is pushed downward from the fan of helicopter, according to Newton's third law, the air particles are pushing the helicopter upward. That's why it's flying. A very simple phenomenon. Right. The next one, what is meant by weight? So we are coming to the next point. What is weight? So I taught you, it is a direct theory question. It is the force attracting a mass toward Earth. What is meant by it? A force attracting an object toward Earth. What we call the weight. The object means it can be a mass. For example, if there is a mass 10 kilogram, this 10 kilogram will be attracted toward Earth using force about 100 Newton. Sorry, there is an object 10 kilogram. So this object, 10 kilogram object, will be attracted toward Earth using 100 Newtons of force. Very simple. Okay, 10 kilogram, 100 Newton. So what's happening? This is the weight of it. So what is meant by weight? You should say that the amount of force or the force attracting a mass toward Earth. We call it the weight. The weight. So that is the 8th question what they ask you. What is meant by, so 7th question what they ask you, what is meant by weight. Right. The next question, this is again a very simple question. But they are asked, what is the weight of an object with 2200 gram mass? So, it's 2200, the equation we have studied that W is equal to M into G. W means the weight, M the mass, G the gravity, gravitational acceleration. So, mass should be in kilogram. That is the thing what I am expecting from you all. Weight will be in newtons, gravity should be in meter second minus 2. So, as you all know, that is 10 meter second minus 2. Right. So the answer W is equal to mass into gravity. Mass is 2200, but we can't put like that. It is in gram. 2.2 kilogram into 10. The answer will be 22 Newton. That is the question. That is the answer for the 8th question.